It what I wanted it to be like, and what my friends like Ben wanted it to be like. So I really tried to make it something you would all enjoy. So hopefully you do. And you should come ask me questions all about how I got it started and all that tomorrow at 1 in the morning Q&A.
Hey, to reminisce a little bit, remember when you had the shout out box in the beginning?
The chat box?
Yeah. And I wanted to say shit about it and you deleted me real quick.
Did I? Did I ban you? Did I ban you from Faku?
I think you did.
Alright, fuck you.
You're a poser.
So yeah, back in the day, when I first made it, you know, I did everything I could to get people to visit Faku because I was confident in it and I was like, this site's gonna be baller if people go to it. So I was like, I was playing like Dota and I'd be like, I'd own someone, I'd be like, yo, go to faku.net, bitch. In retrospect, it probably wasn't the best way to get people to view the site, but it worked. Mike actually, who like I said is running late, discovered it through a link on Wikipedia. I didn't even know. So yeah, that's a little history about Faku. We'll go much more in depth about that tomorrow during the Q&A. So who is ready for some visual novels? Can we actually turn this up a little bit? It's not picking me. I have to like be like way too uncomfortably close. How about, is this good? Is this good? Alright, cool. Alright, so who in here has played a visual novel? Fuck yes. Round of applause. Person in the horse head mask. Yeah, that's right. Are you wearing a skirt, by the way? Awesome. What visual novel have you played? What was that? Boku no Pico. I will accept that as an answer. Who's played Fate Stay Night? We're going to talk about it. A little spoiler. Who's played Clannad? Alright, who's played Katawa Shoujo? How was having sex with disabled girls? Was it good? So Ben is going to go grab Mike, and then the two of them are going to come meet me up here, and it's going to be fun. Look at that, he doesn't even care. So this is going to be good. So first game we're going to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Is True Love. Has anyone played this? Alright, so back when I was like, I don't know, 13, I found this game. It very much interfered with my development as a young male. Because there I was, a 13-year-old playing this hentai pornography game. It very much obscured my views on what sex was like and what attracting women was like. So this is True Love. This is like a super old school game from like, I don't even know, the 80s or 90s. It's like a super old, yeah, 90s, so it's like a DOS game. Like, it's actually so old that the company who originally licensed it abandoned it. So it's abandonware, which means you can just download it for free, and that's the legal way to do it. Because it's abandonware. So I thought that was really cool. So this is what True Love looks like. And it was awesome. So there I was, 13, 14-year-old Jacob. I was a nerdy kid in high school, you know, so I was the most popular with the girls at the time. So there I was, I opened this game up and I'm like, what's this? And it's like, choose the main character's type. And it's like, I guess I'm more of a playboy. I wasn't a playboy. And you choose your what type of person you are, and immediately it gives you these stats. So these stats are super cool because your day is divided up into these 3 different parts: daytime, evening, and night. And you choose which activity you want to do during that time. So college, sports, and study. So college, you know, you go to college and you socialize. Sports, you get athletic, you get in shape. Study, and you just kind of like read books all day. That's cool, I guess. So as you do that, your ranks on the right side increase, and depending on how high your rank is, you'll attract different women. So if you study a lot, you know, you'll end up at the library studying, and then you'll attract the smart girls at the library. If you work out a lot, you'll end up attracting the sporty girl. So there I was at 13 and 14, and I'm like, man, if I just study a lot, that chick who gets good grades is gonna like me. That didn't work out, unfortunately. So I grew up just kind of thinking, oh man, yeah, if I just play sports a lot, you know, my rank will go up and all those sporty chicks will totally go down on me or whatever. So true love is awesome because it has really awesome decisions. So like these super like thought-provoking decisions, like this is your childhood friend, and you know I think you just made a joke about her or something, and she's like, "What do you even think of me?" And you're like, "I guess I like you, or I hate you, or I want to have sex with you." So unfortunately, that's not the option to choose if you want to have sex with her. That's how they get you. Yeah. So no, as you would expect, 13, 14-year-old me, I'm like, yeah, I want to have sex with her. Look at that sweet sailor uniform. Damn. Didn't have sex with her. This is the teacher character, so in case you didn't know, you can have sex with your teacher. I think you're a high school, I guess we'll say college, over 18.
Prep school.
And you know, you're studying every day. Oh no, you are actually in college of true love because you divide your day up like that. So this is the teacher who you can also romance. I forgot how you end up romancing her. She's actually a really cool storyline. They're all pretty cool. And this is one of them as well. So I love these little octopus sausages. Girls in the room, when you're dating a guy, make him these little octopus sausages. They make you so happy. This sausage and my sausage.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. So this is the sporty chick I was talking about. So as you work out more, you run into this girl and she's like, wow, this guy sure is in shape. I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm so sweaty. Look at my breasts, they're so perky. And it has some... So that I want to have sex option, this is kind of how it ends up. So it actually has some really cool plots as well, like this girl gets kidnapped and you have to end up saving her. So it is a really, really cool game, and I actually really enjoyed the plot, even though it was a little ridiculous at the time. So as you can see on the side, I studied a lot and leveled up my appearance a lot. And leveling up the appearance attribute just involves you combing your hair. For a third of the day. So when I was like 14, I'm like, man, I'm gonna look so good, my appearance is gonna go up, all the chicks are gonna like me. It didn't work out. I'm telling you guys way too much about my 14-year-old self. So it is a hentai game, as you can see. And it's awesome because it's like so old school DOS graphics that it is just so badass. So everybody, Mike just arrived. Everyone give Mike a round of applause. Alright, Mike, what happened? Where were you?
Can I just give a round of applause for the tea? Anyone? Come on. You guys gotta know. You gotta know. So I'm sitting on the beeline, right? And there's a bunch of people that get on, and obviously they've been having a great Friday night. You can't blame them.
No.
You can't blame
PAX, Anime Boston, all these good things.
Oh yeah, it's a great weekend. But don't vomit all over the tea. Oh my God, hold your liquor, people. So this guy just pukes all over the tea. And you know what, I'm like, he puked. Puke's funny, right? But not when it holds up my tea for 10 minutes. So we're in like a forced stop for 10 minutes. Then the sea line comes by and I'm like, jump off, puke smells bad. I jump on the sea line.
Oh, yeah, is that what you did?
Yeah, I jumped on the sea line. And for some reason that one's like, that cheese smells like puke. We gotta stop for 10 minutes. So I'm stuck on 10 minutes on the sea, just like, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I wish this guy good luck, and now I'm here.
Have I been doing a good job, maybe? I've been telling them about my high school romance.
Yeah, no, I know you got it.
So we're talking about true love right now, and as you can see, it involves some hentai scenes.
Sweet.
So I added a few slides.
Oh, pixelated.
Yeah, so this is awesome because it's back in the DOS era. So this is like actually like 16-bit colored like hentai scenes. And it's completely uncensored, by the way, because this is one of those first videos. So this is you having, romantic relationships with one of the main girls. And when I was 14, I was like, this is the greatest fucking thing ever. And I'm like, what's going on in my pants? What is this feeling? So anyway, that's True Love. You can download it for free because it's abandonware and it's super awesome. And let me just say, a lot of the games we're going to talk about aren't licensed in the United States, so the only way to get them is to buy them from Japan and download an English translation patch or something like that. So totally support those games and check them all out. So next up, we're talking about Fate Stay Night.
Awesome. I like that. You know, it's like we give these panels, you know, every con, and more people know and enjoy, and it really means something. It's awesome. It's awesome.
So yeah, every game we talk about, go home and play if you haven't played it.
There's no reason not to.
Like literally, everything we talk about will change you a little bit in a good way, probably.
You're only hurting yourselves.
So who's played this game? I know I asked earlier. Alright, who's seen the anime?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who's played any of the fighting games?
Limited coolness.
Look at these guys.
I know. I'm so proud.
Alright, so Fate Stay Night is, I like to call it like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter on crack, like mixed together.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So Fate Stay Night's awesome because it was originally a visual novel, and then it was a manga, and then it was an anime, and then it was a sequel to the visual novel, and then it was a fighting game, and then it was a chibi fighting game, and then it was a PSP RPG. Who's played this one? This one's out. This one's recent. This was an awesome game. And this is available on the PlayStation Network right now, so pick that up. That's a good one. And then it was a movie that showed in theaters in Japan. This was like last year. This is a badass movie.
It's awesome.
Yep. And
Fate
Fate
Zero. It just keeps going. You think it stops? It doesn't.
So this is like a really awesome example of just how much power visual novels have in Japan, that this became like a media sensation. Like, and there's light novels, there's more games, there's a million doujinshi, as I'm sure you've all masturbated to, right? There you go. Look at that horse. He knows what's up. So yeah, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about the story of Fate Stay Night?
Well, as a lot of you already know, Fate Stay Night revolves around like this Holy Grail war, where if you win the war, then you get your wish granted. So what happens is it's a battle between masters and servants, and every master is a magi, and they get assigned a servant. Like Saber, as you can see here, is a swordsman or swordswoman, and there's Lancer, Archer, Berserker, you know, so they'll have the type of classes, if you will. So they're all battling for the Holy Grail to grant their wish, and it is the most badass thing ever, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you just have these masters and magi battling, killing each other off, having these awesome, epic battle scenes, and I gotta say, I'm not really much of a book reader. You know, I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I'm intelligent. I'm at Starbucks. I read my books and whatnot. But no, I don't do that. Instead, I'd rather watch anime and play video games. So why not watch an anime, play a video game, and read a book at the same exact time? Yeah. You know? Why not?
It's multitasking. It's just smart.
Yeah, it's just fucking smart. We say that fucking smart. So it's honestly just easily one of the best things I've ever read / played / watched.
Yeah, it's a super awesome fantasy magical game. So this is really cool because I have this friend of mine who's my roommate in college. He's a super bro, muscled out guy. Some of you have been to our panels. We mentioned him a couple of times. So he plays football. He lifts weights all day.
Drinks protein
shakes. Every time I hang out with him, I just feel inferior about myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, he likes Final Fantasy and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh, maybe he'll like this game. So I'm like, yo, check out Fate Stay Night. And I gave it to him, and then I let him be. And then a week later, I got a phone call. I was like, dude, I've been playing that game. This game is awesome. And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't tell him that there was porn in it.
Why would you?
So every day he kind of calls me up and he gives me like the rundown of how far he's gotten in the story and what he thinks is going to happen, because there's a lot of like twists throughout it, as some of you may know. So one day he calls me up and he's like, dude, I was playing the game and my little brother was in the room and Rinto Saka started giving me a blowjob. And I was like, oh. What then? He's like, I kicked him out and I kept playing.
A true man.
So needless to say, he finished the entire game and loved every single second of it. So that's how good it is. It turns football players into flaming weeaboos.
I actually got something. My brother, he's 18, so he actually really started getting into anime lately. which is cool because I'm like, hey, I'm your older brother. I can relate on things now. So he's been watching anime lately, and he realized that the second half of Fate Zero is airing this season, which is fucking awesome. And if you play this, you definitely should watch that, Fate Zero. So I'm like, oh, we should watch that together, brother.
Oh, you're such a good older brother.
I know, right? So, and then I was like, wait a second. He's gonna ruin all of Fate's Day Night for himself. So I was like,
oh, he hasn't yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. So I was like, hey brother, you should play Fate's Day Night. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm telling my brother to play an awesome game, an awesome visual.
So you know your brother's gonna be masturbating now.
Exactly.
In the room next to you, and it's your fault.
To the same things I've masturbated. Yeah. Should we share that, or well, I don't know. I'm confused in so many ways.
It's like a little gentleman's agreement. You know, you don't talk about it, but you both know.
We both know it's true. But you know what? At the same time, it is such a great experience that I couldn't say like, don't play this game. All I could say was play this game, play this game, play this game.
Yeah.
So it is just an awesome experience, and everyone should enjoy it.
Yeah, and this is Rin Tosaka. Does anyone know Rin? She's my wife who back off. Yeah, we'll jump you outside. I love those delicious tsunderes. So Fate Stay Night's divided into 3 different arcs. Fate, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel. Each follows a different girl. The first one's Saber, who's the blonde girl from the beginning. Who, by the way, oh wait, should we tell who Saber is?
No.
No? Alright.
Find out for yourself.
I won't spoil it for anyone. But actually, I read this morning that so the author of Fate Stay Night wrote it while I was in college, and originally Saber was a man and Shiro was a girl. Yeah. And there's an OVA about it that I haven't watched yet.
God damn. Yeah. You learn something new every day.
Is it Carnival Phantasm?
Thank you.
So Rin is the star of Unlimited Blade Works, and she's wicked tsundere, but she loves you. And
I love her.
My favorite thing about Rin is she wears black thigh-high stockings. Is there anything better than black thigh-high stockings? And a miniskirt.
Twin tails.
Yep.
It just
she's got it all. And tomorrow, cosplaying at our booth, we're gonna have a Rin Tosaka. Yes! Just saying, we have a booth in the dealer's room. It's gonna be cool.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. So this is Fate Stay Night. Check it out. It is a visual novel that spawned fighting games, movies, manga, light novels, RPGs. I imagine a live-action movie one day. I'm amazed that it hasn't been licensed in the United States, but I have a feeling that every company has tried to license this, but I bet Typhoon is like, fuck you guys. Fuck America.
Hey, if they need somebody to, like, you know, be in a live-action movie, you know, I don't know. I could probably play every character great. Just saying.
Rin Tosaka. We're gonna put in some black thigh stockings later.
Baka. Right?
Moe, cute. So, Fate Stay Night, check it out. Next up, a drug that makes you dream. Who's played this? So this is licensed and released by Jazz in the United States. You could buy this right now. You could go home and purchase this game, and you should, because it is a fantastic game.
It's wonderful.
So, Mike, why don't you tell us real quick?
Basically, this game is really interesting because each of the characters, each of the roots represents like a type of plate in Japan. So we have the 3 characters there, and the girl on the bottom left there, she represents like bullying and hazing and like how serious it is in Japan. The girl on the right represents like people that need to meet expectations. She's the president of the student council. Everyone expects her to have the top grades, to make all the right judgments, this, that, and another thing. So it's really hard to meet all those expectations. And the girl on the top actually represents drug abuse, which, you know, the other ones kind of everybody knows about, but drug abuse is a problem, and she represents that. So the first girl's root is actually the expectations.
Council president.
Yeah, so she's the student council president, you know, she grades, you know, make sure she makes all the right judgments. So what she tries to do is rebel, which, you know, she decides to start smoking.
She's like, oh, I'm such a badass, I'm smoking. Light my cigarette for me.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. And so this game's also great because, you know, you get very intimate with the girls, and I guess that's a way of getting back at the man is being sexually assaulted. So you have all these things, and she's like, oh, take me out for a night on the town, and you take her gambling, and then finally, one of the things is she finally cracks and is like, I can't meet all of these, I can't be who everyone wants me to be, so just end my life right
She's
now.
like, kill me, please, I can't handle this anymore.
So you have to find out what happens with her, and it's a really great story. And my favorite character is the bully character, because honestly, she is
so cute.
so goddamn cute. You cannot help but want to protect her if you're anything of a man. So her story is really heartbreaking because there's absolutely no reason. You have this one girl who just teases her and teases her to the point where she just can't take it anymore. She just cracks up. They take her on the roof and they strip her naked and they just crowd around her. These awful, awful people. And it's honestly just heartbreaking. She's a great character. She's so sweet.
Oh,
so
look how cute she is.
I just want to protect her.
Is this after you make sweet love to her?
Probably. I mean, why wouldn't you? So, when I was playing...
Why is someone knocking on this door? Whoever it is, I'm gonna beat the hell out of them.
Yo, let's boom them.
Yeah? Go ahead, open that door. Let them in. Let's all mock them. Do it. Let them in. Let's see who's
Zach, you're not getting off.
What is this? Hi! 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 So anyway, back to this. I hope he's embarrassing those people out there right now. So look how cute she is.
So when I was playing this game, honestly, if you haven't realized already, she was my favorite girl. And in the beginning, you know, you kind of get those decisions where, oh, you're like, oh, I can tell this is going to go down this route, or this is going to go down this route. So every time she's getting teased in class, and I swear to God, every single time, I'm just sitting there like, but she's getting teased, like, I can't let her get teased.
So you're trying to go down some other girl's route,
and I just end up on hers every single time because she's the best character, hands down.
It's those people who are knocking. Hey, boo, boo.
The guy said over there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'll say. But it's okay because in the end, you end up getting your revenge. And I gotta say, I won't spoil anything, but it is pretty sweet. And you make quite the fool out of her.
So the last girl is the drug abuse crack addict. And she loves anal sex. As you can see here, now hurry up and put your semen into my anus.
This one's just absolutely crazy, and in a good way.
I don't want to think about that.
So yeah, you basically get close to this girl and you learn about her addiction. You kind of like get her out of it by having lots of anal sex with her.
Yeah, she thinks she's a fairy. Yeah, she likes climbing trees for some odd reason.
Yeah. So it's really cool because you go through each of these girls' struggles and you end up making sweet love to them and working it out with them. And it's actually like these really, really cute stories. I love that these people just walked in when this is up. Look at that. Yeah, me too. That's right.
That's when you know it's a good panel.
All right, next up, Clannad. So, you guys like Clannad, I take it? Alright. So Clannad is super, super awesome. Any key, anything is like, it will bring you to tears every single time. And
Yes, it will.
it will. And it is just like the best story over and over and over and over again. So in Clannad, you play this main character on the right, Tomoya, and it's your senior year of high school or college? Of high school. You just kind of like got injured in this basketball accident, or not a basketball accident, but you got injured and you play basketball, and you can no longer play basketball now that you have this injury. So you start off your senior year and you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I was this badass basketball player, I was gonna have these scholarships, and now I have nothing. So that's how the game opens. And you're literally walking to school and you meet Nagisa on the left, and it's like, in the anime version of this, it's really cool because the opening's black and white, and then when you meet Nagisa, it like blows out into full color and cherry blossoms are flying anywhere. So it's pretty rad. And any key thing is kind of girly, but it's super manly at its core. So don't be turned off by all these cherry blossoms and lemon splatter. and all that good stuff.
It's like canon.
This is the main cast of females. So you guys have played Clannad, right?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Yes!
Alright, Kyo? Alright, she's my waifu, back off. Rio? No one likes Rio. Who likes Rio?
I like her.
You do?
Yes.
Well, she's alright, I guess. Who likes Tomoyo? Right? That's exactly what you want.
Boring.
What are you talking about? She struggles through to become student council president. She comes over and cooks you breakfast in the morning. There's an entire hentai game about Tomoyo. It's called Tomoyo After. And it's a hentai game that Key made. And it's just, you end up marrying her and you come home every day and you make
Why do you
love.
think she's so far in the background?
What are you talking about?
Because nobody likes her. Because people think they like her, so they made a game about it.
You know what? I like her.
I speak the truth if you know it.
So, Katomi. Who likes Katomi? She's pretty awesome too. Who likes Fuko? Is that Dozo. So these are all the girls, and you go through each of these routes, and then, like the game before, they all have like these struggles and these problems, and you work it out with them. And it's like this super touching story. I've actually played this game on my laptop, and I was just lay in bed and play it before going to sleep, and I just play it with the headphones on. It has like this beautifully orchestrated like piano music throughout it, so I would just fall asleep with my headphones on, and I would just dream like the best dreams I've ever dreamed in my entire life. To go from Clannad into sleep with this beautiful piano music, I would wake up and I'd be like, fucking 3D shit world. I want to be in the Clannad universe right now. Right now.
I wish Akio was my dad.
This is one of the comedic relief characters. He's just like super badass. He's like Kamina from Gurren Lagann. But he's like one of the girls' dads, so he like gives you a super hard time, but he ends up warming up to you and you guys bro out. And this is Tomoyo, who's awesome. So this is kind of like what decision making is like throughout the game. So you know, like a question will pop up and then the option's like this and you just gotta pick. So look, she's so sad. You just gotta make her happy.
Do us a favor, Tomoyo. GTFO.
This is Tsunohara. Hell yeah. Tsunohara is like your super badass bro who's with you through everything, and you treat him like crap, but it's hilarious.
Yes,
That was like the truest statement I've ever heard.
I know. You're such a dick to him. He's like, he's got your back no matter what.
Even when you're hitting on his little sister.
Yeah, he's got little sister out. Yeah, Shiro's kind of a little, So he's awesome. He should have his own route where you can romance him. Yeah. So I would do that every time. Yeah. This is Kyo. So these are some scenes from each of their routes. And again, they all like climax in these super like emotional scenes where you are literally brought to tears. And it is, I'm man enough to say that I cried a little in like each of these routes. And yeah, right? Inside. This is Tomoyo, who's awesome. She even got her own. Come on.
People just comment anything like that.
Yeah, I think Kyo got her own OVA too. She didn't do that. So they're both awesome. So Clannad's great. It's another example of a visual novel that turned into a manga, that turned into an anime, that turned into some really awesome games,
all over the place.
So there's a really cool Dojin game. It's a fighting game, and it's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Super Nintendo game.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah. It's just like that, but you're playing all the girls. It's pretty awesome. It's on Faku.
And make sure you have time. I mean, don't make sure you have time, but if you want to clear every girl's path, every possibility, you're prepared to spend up to 300 hours.
Yeah, the walkthrough for this is literally called the 300-hour Clannad walkthrough, which is like the fastest.
But the funny thing is, it's so worth those 300 hours. So worth it.
I don't know what else you could do in 300 hours, but play Clannad for real.
Yes,
You could do a lot. This is another example of just like a super epically long, awesome game that you should all.
Or you can watch the anime.
Or you can watch the. Nah, well, you should do both.
It doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah.
All of them, yep.
And it has a really good, order that you should do all the routes in. So the walkthrough is badass. If you end up playing this, just Google 300-hour Clannad walkthrough. You will not be disappointed. So next up, we got Swan Song.
Who's going to play this? Because I know I told a bunch of you to do this. And
Last year we told you guys to play this. Did anyone listen to us?
Nope.
Yes. All right. Do you like it?
I wasn't here last year.
Finish it. All right. So this is an awesome game. Basically, it takes place on Christmas, and
It's actually cool because I started playing this like a week before Christmas, so I didn't even know I was getting into it. It's like, oh, it's Christmas Eve, and like it was snowing outside because I lived in Massachusetts, so it was just fuck yeah, Massachusetts, I love you.
So it takes place on Christmas, and you're just a young student, and you're taking a walk, and of course, out of fucking nowhere, an earthquake hits. And this was fucking crazy for me because I just started playing this just after the earthquake in Japan last year. So I was like, this is really, really eerie. Like, what if this actually happened? Is Japan going to be a post-apocalyptic wasteland with wars and whatnot? But it was crazy. So basically on Christmas you're walking and a huge earthquake happens, everything around you is decimated and you're left in rubble and you get up and you're like, I'm not dead, what do I do?
Do you want me to go?
So what happens is you play this character and you meet up with a bunch of refugees and there's an interesting cast of characters and there's the guy on the left, he's like a kendo master, the guy in the background is just a big vagina. The other girl's tsundere, and what's actually really interesting is when you're playing the main character, you run into an autistic girl who her guardian actually dies in the earthquake, and you're just left to take care of.
Yeah, you literally find her crying in the rubble.
Yeah. So it's really interesting because not only are you thrust into this world that you have no idea what to do, you have this responsibility that takes care of an incapable person. So they really give you like an interesting setting and a group of characters. And what I also love about this game is it's not only shown through one perspective, it switches between all of the characters. So you can really tell, it's not like, oh, I see this character and this is what he thinks and this is how the game is. You really see what everybody's thinking. And what's awesome is this game gives you such a sense of realism, and that's why it was so scary, is because, it's just a game, blah, 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 visual novel, but it's very, very real, and it's almost scary to a point, because what if this did happen? Like, what would people do? How would the world turn out? And so you have two groups. You have one group who is like, oh, well, let's be like how the world was. We have police officers, we have laws, we have courts, blah, blah, blah. Let's just keep going like that. But, not everybody thinks that way. Some people are like, well, what's important in my life is religion. So you have these two groups where one's laws and morals and one's like religious beliefs. And they end up at war at each other, and they fight each other, they kill each other, and they have gruesome battles over things like resources and their beliefs, and it's really, really scary. And when you're playing this game, it's also a decision-based game, is sometimes you're like, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to go look left this time instead of looking right. Well, you know what, sometimes you look left and some guy's like, you know what, that's my turn to look left, I'm going to axe you in the face.
There are bad ends all over this game.
There are bad ends everywhere.
And it's awesome because they literally come out of nowhere. Normally you can tell when you're going down a bad end, but this is just like you're dead. And it just throws you back into it.
And it's really interesting because, like I said, it's crazy like that. You wouldn't know what would happen if something like this actually happened. And that's why during the earthquake I was like, is Japan okay? Are they killing each other over religion over there? It was pretty crazy. But you know what? It all makes it okay because there's blowjobs and stuff.
Blowjobs. So does the hentai game. It's awesome. So what's cool about this, Mike and I used to be roommates, and I told Mike, you gotta play this game. We're gonna talk about it on our panel. You gotta check it out. So I leave him with it, and I go to sleep, and I wake up, and I come over, and he's been playing the game the whole time. And I hate to say it, Mike, but you were crying a little bit.
Dude, we didn't dust the house that day. It was all over the place.
You were a little sad about the game. So Mike, tell us what happened.
So first, this fly just tried.
No. So I come over and I'm like, I walk in. He's like crying in the corner on his computer, and I'm like, yo, Mike, dude, you okay? I'm like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, man, I just finished Swan Song and I got the bad ends.
So basically, when you play through it the first time, when you get to it, no matter what you do, you will get the normal ending, which I swear to God, that thing is the bad ending. Like, that was awful, and I swear if I stopped right there, I would have been depressed for months.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't do this, I know there's a true ending. So after you beat it the first time, you can go back and you can make a few different decisions, and you can get the true ending. And all of the wrongs are righted, and I promise you, if you play through this game, get the true ending at the same time that you get the bad ending, because it is so worth it. Like, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders.
So I left, I'm like, okay, Mike's crying, I'm just gonna go. And then I went, took a shower, got dressed, and I came back like a couple hours later, and he's all happy, and he's like, dude, I just got the true end, it's so good! This is such a good game!
So I highly, highly recommend that if you play this game, get both endings. You won't be disappointed.
So that's Swan Song. So next up, we're gonna talk about Wanko to Kuroso. Yes. Who's played this one? Alright, it's a little weird, but was it awesome? Yeah.
Don't take our word for it.
So Wanko to Kuroso translates into time for dogs. As you can guess. So in this game, you are a cram school teacher, and you're walking home from cram school one day, and it's raining out and all that kind of stuff, and you're just kind of like, coming home from work, and you find this cute little dog abandoned on the side of the road, and it's like, all hurt, and you're like, I'm not gonna leave this cute little dog on the side of the road, so you bring it home, and you put it in this little orange box. And in this game, dogs are these cute little girls. So, who would have thought? So you bring home this cute little girl, and you take care of her and nurse her back to health. And look, she's so cute, she's so happy. And you end up adopting another little dog, so this world, Japan comes up with some crazy shit, and this is one of the things.
So, yeah.
This is another hard game to talk about. We actually gave this panel like a year ago, and that super muscly guy who I mentioned played Fates tonight, he was in the audience, and we started talking about this, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have sex with cute little dog girls?
We're sitting here like, no, you don't understand. And he's
don't understand.
I
so
understand.
So this is a cool game because it's like super short. You can play this in one night, and it's just a fun little time. It's like 3 or 4 hours long, and there's all these like cute little dog girls who you take care of. But you're doing them a favor in a way because they're going through heat, right? Like so. They're suffering. So they need to have sex. You don't want to. You don't want this.
Why would you want that?
You have to help them. It's your responsibility as a pet owner.
You're a bad pet owner if you do not have sex with your animals.
Oh no, they're of legal age.
No, they're like 18 plus.
They're animals. What is the legal age? That girl on the right is a cat.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah.
And if you guys are into that sort of thing, there's a human girl you can romance too. I don't know.
She doesn't even have black eyes.
Yeah. White eyes. All right.
Get out of my face.
So it is kind of cool though, because you end up just the path of the game takes you to meet this girl, and she's like your childhood friend. You guys end up getting married, and you have like a whole slew of pets that you both take care of, and you have all these awesome sex scenes with her. So if you're into humans, that's cool. You can have her.
Have fun with that.
If you're into little dog girls, whatever, it's cool too.
But yeah, no, it's just honestly, just a fun game. One day, if you're bored, just be like, oh yeah, those guys at Faku said to play this game.
So you have a pretty funny story about this game too, don't you?
Yeah. So I actually got a girlfriend of mine to play Fates Day Night, and she actually liked it. So I was like, sweet, that's cool, right? And then I was like,
sharing interests, that's good in a relationship,
I was like, how far can I push this? Like, so I was like, oh, you remember that cool game with the swords and stuff that you played, and they occasionally had sex? She's like, oh yeah, that was kind of fun. It's like, well, there's this other game, it's really cool. It's like dog girls and cat girls, and it's real fun. So she decided to play it, and I was like, oh, this isn't working. It's just like, oh, that was really cute and fun. The dog and cat girls were really cute, and I loved it so much. And I was like,
kind of a game where it's not. It sounds kind of weird, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as these weird guys make it sound.
Well, it's dogs and cats.
No,
They're people. So that's Wango to Kuro, so check it out. Next up, Sengoku Rance. So, was it the manliest, awesomest ever? Yes. Right?
How many people wish you were Rance? Mine makes mine the highest.
Hyper weapon pierces the head. So Sengoku Rance is really cool. It takes place back in the Sengoku era. So you have like all of these heroes from legend.
Like, how many people know, like, oh, you know, the anime Rurouni Kenshin. Like Kenshin. Yeah, well, this is like, you know,
That's
Kenshin
in the
from
game. Kenshin's in the game. You know, this is Kenshin
Sengoku.
in lore. You know.
But of course, you know, we're not dealing with ordinary people here. We're dealing with the Japanese. So
The Japanese turned Kenshin.
into a beautiful woman. Obviously, like, what else would you do? It's the only logical explanation.
And she has a little feud with the main character who's on the bottom. But little does she know that every time she gets in a fight with him, she falls in love with him. Because Kenshin is just that kind of guy. I mean, princess girl. So like we said, this takes place in the Sengoku era, but it's kind of badass because it's like the Sengoku warring states, but it's also like has demons and all this kind of really cool like lore to it. And it's pretty badass as you can see in the screenshot. And the main character is this super badass dude called Rance. And this is Rance.
God damn it, Rance is the man.
Rance refers to his penis as his hyper weapon. And his hyper weapon is going to pierce the heavens. That's right. But the heavens are a vagina, probably. And how awesome is it that you also have the slave girl right here who you just abuse throughout the entire game? But it's hilarious. And every time you have sex with someone, this badass heavy metal music plays.
So
It's like... And your goal here as Rance, you're like a foreigner in Japan, and your only goal is to take over all of these countries so you can have sex with all of their princesses.
Oda Nobunaga's like, dude, I'm getting sick. I cannot command the army. Can you do me a favor, Rance? And like, Rance is like, dude, I don't care about taking over Japan. I just want to have sex with princesses.
Yeah, and he's like, well, if you take over all of Japan, you can have sex with all of the princesses. And that's what he does.
That is all that he does.
That is what he does. So he has these badass shark teeth, and he's like super ripped, and he says hilarious things throughout the entire thing.
It's great. And like I said, you know, it's the warring state, so you have all these characters like Kenshin and stuff. But how many people know Date Masamune, like, you know, the one-eyed dragon Dokugan Ryu? Well, he's literally just an eyeball, like one eyeball, and has these harem of yokai women at his whim. It is just absolutely ridiculous, yet absolutely awesome.
And there's this awesome cast of girls you meet throughout the game. Like, I just chose some really awesome screenshots like this one. A girl wearing glasses and coughing up blood is Moe, right? Isn't that Moe? So she's actually super awesome. When you run into her, get her into your army, because she is just super badass. This is another one, I really like her. She wears like a, what's the word for Japanese? One Piece, yeah. So she just walks around that and she's like a rifleman. So this game is awesome. It has this really hilarious story and it's badass. And you have sex with all these hot chicks, and it's great throughout. But on top of that, it is an amazing turn-based strategy game.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's so hard. So this is what, when you open the game, this is what you see. This is the world map. It's like you have to take over Japan, and this is what they give you. So who's played like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like the Dynasty Warriors back in the day, all this kind of stuff. This is like that, but on crack. So I just took some screenshots as I was slowly taking over Japan. As you take over each of these territories, you know, you take over their generals, you recruit them into your army, you have sex with all the princesses as you take it over. And slowly your army just becomes like this huge, massive thing. And I was like a huge fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms and all this kind of like turn-based, like Civilization and all those kind of games. And this is just like that. This is you managing your army. Look at how intense this is.
There's so many stats.
Like, just look at that. it's just badass. So along with this, you have like in the top left, you can see the trust level. So as you get your trust level up with the different generals, you know, you have like dialogue with them. If they're a girl, you might romance them a little bit. You level up all their stats. You can recruit generals, and there's items and gold and all this badass stuff. Yeah.
All right, so I know this is a bit off topic, but you guys see like the swastika, even though it isn't down there at the bottom, that's actually like a Buddhist symbol. I didn't know that. So I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho the other day.
On Tsunami?
Yeah. I watched it on Toonami, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta rewatch some. So I just picked some random episodes, and I was watching the tournament of Genkai. You know, when they're deciding who's gonna be like the disciple or whatever. And there's a guy with that on his forehead, and they're like, oh, he must be an undercover like bad guy. And I was like, dude, it's obviously the guy with the swastika on his forehead. Like, come on, is it that hard? And then I realized it was just a Buddhist symbol. And I was completely incorrect.
Isn't it a Buddhist symbol for like peace too?
Yeah, exactly. I was so wrong.
It's a Buddhist symbol for peace and Hitler.
Yeah, the Triforce also.
So this game is super badass. Like I actually played it, when I started playing this game. So you guys ever play a video game and like you're like, oh, one more turn and then I'll go to sleep. One more turn and then I'll go to sleep. One more turn. I did that for like a week straight, and I didn't sleep at all because I was just so addicted to this game.
Sleep is for the weak.
That's right. So when you start playing this, be ready to just not be able to stop. This is an awesome hentai game and an amazing just game in itself. Like you can hand this to anyone and look at this. This is the battle system, so it's like a typical like Final Fantasy kind of back and forth thing. This is just such a good game on top of everything else. So play this. We've had people come up to us after we've given the panel like a couple weeks later and been like, I played this game and I have not stopped since. So check out Sengoku Rance. Definitely.
You're going to the bathroom.
I know. That's the hot ass rifle chick in the swimsuit. Yeah. So be careful when a unit gets annihilated, they die for real. Sometimes. So that sucks. I think if you die, you just lose. Yep. So be careful with that. So that's the Sengoku Rance.
Save
Check it
every
out.
turn.
Save every single turn.
Mine's like pages.
Oh, 5 minutes, really? Is there a panel on here? Yeah. Alright, so I think we have a few more to talk about. So Steins Gate. Who's seen Steins Gate?
It's so badass and
Fucking awesome, right? So Crazy Ben over here was like, Jacob, you gotta watch Steins Gate. And I'm like, alright, I guess. I never end up watching it. We hang out and he forces me to watch the first 3 episodes. And I went home and marathoned the entire thing. It was just like, and I could not stop. It was just fantastic. So after I finished the anime, I was like, that felt like a visual novel. Like the plot felt like a visual novel. I could see all the different paths, different romance scenes that could pop up. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do my research, see if there's a visual novel I can play. Turns out it's a visual novel for the Xbox 360 in Japan.
Yes!
That's what it originally was. It's not even an Arrow game. It was a visual novel for the Xbox 360, which blew my mind. Because my rumor, everything I had heard was that Japan hated the Xbox because it was like too big and all that kind of crap. But this is a game for the Xbox 360. And it got ported to the PC, I think, a couple months ago, so you can find this online. And I've started to play it, and it is exactly like the anime. And they have the same voice actors and everything. And the art is just amazing throughout it.
Has anybody seen, like, obviously, Black Rock Shooter, you know, all that? This is the actual concept.